What's going on? What's going on? Waiting on one of my brothers to come on in. We're gonna start this live today. Our first topic is gonna be about communication amongst females and males. So definitely looking forward to it. I think my brother is here right now. Let me try to bring him in. See if this is working. Not for sure, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. What up, though?
What's up, P?
Chilling, chilling. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm blessed. Happy to see another day.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we starting off with the first one, man. I'm kind of excited about it.
Man, same here. Definitely excited, brother.
Absolutely. We got a couple other brothers that we're gonna end up having coming in and talking to, but let's get it going. Let's get it going.
First one.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I heard you going over the title. You say communication.
Yeah,
Man, that's
yeah,
big.
yeah.
Communication is everything.
Absolutely, absolutely. What's your thoughts with that?
Well, just communication. Communication is sending and receiving messages. Since the beginning of time, that's how we taught to interact through communications,
Yeah,
both verbal and nonverbal. And I've learned like the more mature we become by way of experience, we learn to communicate differently.
yeah. Absolutely,
The
absolutely.
communication that I gave, as a younger man in my 20s and my late 30s, I wouldn't
Mhm.
communicate that same way. So
Right.
it changes with maturity and it changes with experience and just, evolving as people.
Yeah, I think it's me being married. Um, I had to learn communication, and because my communication was absolutely beyond terrible. I mean, it was
Right.
bad. But you have to learn that, and I guess with just growth, man. I think it's just with growth. I mean, as far as business and everything, you have to learn how to communicate and
Yeah.
how to you communicate different in every area of your life. You know, from work, from home to hanging with the boys and everything. I think it's it's a little different.
What was
It's a
your
little,
age when you got married?
when I got married, I was 29.
29. Okay.
I was 29,
Yeah.
and I think in marriage, man, it's a constant learning process. I'm gonna say for me, it's a constant learning process.
Right. Right.
It's a constant learning process because things we're accustomed to do, we have to think about the other person now. You know what I
Right.
mean? We definitely have to think about the other person and say, okay, you know what? And representation. How I act in the street is a representation of her. You know, um, for me personally, I always say this. You hear me say this a million times. I constantly have an order to my life: God, my wife, right? And I say
Right.
that because I live by that, and I live by that as far as saying I want to represent God. I want to represent my wife in any and everything I do, and just with my thought processes and everything, that representation is for me is extremely important. Yeah,
That's real. I like
it's
that. I like that.
yeah, extremely important.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? How do you think females communicate to guys, and how do you feel like it's right or wrong?
Well, I think for me, man, when it comes with communication, timing is everything.
Okay.
You can have the right message, but if you get a right message at the wrong time, it could be perceived as wrong.
Yeah.
So again, you can tell somebody, how you feeling, but it's a time and a place for all that. And so if you come across at the wrong time, at that point in time, you're being selfish because you really only want to get your point across versus, hearing theirs. And you're not even caring if they're receptive to it
Yeah.
because you just want to
Yeah.
get it out so bad. And so sometimes, we have to control that itch. So I say for me as a man, when I was younger, I didn't care. If I
Right.
wanted to say it, I was going to say it because it almost felt like if I held it in, it was going to be tough for me. So
You,
I blurted out, not caring about
and I
other
think
person's feelings.
I was kind of on the opposite sometimes. I would hold it in. or I would just be like,
Really?
oh yeah, I would shut down because you don't want to be too confrontational, right?
Okay.
Right now, I'll kind of shut down, and I'm not even gonna say shut down. I'm open to communication, but I'll not say anything because I'm processing it. And I'm saying, okay, what's the right way to go about this? One, you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings or say something that you don't mean. And two, just think about the situation. And I think that's on both perspectives. My thinking about it, what did I do wrong in the situation? Or thinking about, okay, how do I feel about this situation, about what she did? You know,
Right.
and I think that's big, you know, because I'm sitting back and just say, okay, you know what? And I think she'll be like, he not talking to me or this, but I'm really processing everything. And for me, it does take time. It does take time, you know. But
I think that's good because you taking time to think before you speak. If you
yeah,
don't think before you speak, then you're gonna
yeah,
speak before you think, and it can be some crazy things come out then. And one thing about words, once they out there, they can't come back. You know, it kind of
don't
remind me
I
of
know,
scripture
bro?
say,
Don't
you
I
know,
know? Yeah,
life and death is in the power of the tongue.
yeah,
You can really kill some things in that process of just wanting to get it out. So
yeah,
yeah, I think that's important, man,
yeah,
to think before
absolutely.
you try to convey that message. Because one thing that I've learned is you can convey it one way, but it's received another way. And again,
Mhm.
timing and presentation, like somebody just said, that's everything.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Um, I guess I look at. I think it's really important um, to be true to yourself too, though, right? Because I think sometimes we're not in worrying about somebody else's feelings, and so I think that's huge.
Yeah.
That,
I
I
guess
think that's
my thought with that would be you kind of have to balance it out though. Because if you're not worried about their feelings enough, then that could be trouble too. So,
hmm
you know, it all has to be balanced out. You have to eventually express yourself and you have to eventually let somebody else express themselves as well. So, in order
yeah,
for communication to be effective, you have to both give and receive it.
yeah, but okay. So when is your feelings? Uh, in, I'm gonna say, when are you caring for your feelings? Because typically a man feelings aren't validated. Just my
Absolutely.
because it's always okay. Let me think about her. Let me think about this situation, or I guess I don't think people really think about or understand. How can I say this? I'm sorry about that. Um, it's kind of hard to explain because
A man's feeling is for less. I agree.
you said it's
We
what?
we we even taught that as men. Like you can't say anything to your father, but you don't
You know
protect your
why I say
father's
it's hard?
feelings the
You know
way
why I
you'll
say it's
protect
hard
your
to
mother's
explain?
feelings.
Because we're feeling something that it's always a masculine, it's always a, you know what I'm saying? Or suck it up, you
Right,
know what I mean? And
right,
then when you say it, you seem kind of soft. Or it seems like, oh, you're hurting my feelings. And it can be just verbal, you know what I'm saying?
right,
But what guy go around say, oh, my feelings is hurt on that situation, you know what I mean? I mean, real talk,
right.
you know, so.
I think, man. I think honestly, I think if a man doesn't have that with his wife or his significant other, I think he has to find somebody who he can express his feelings with,
Mhm.
whether it's a therapist or a church member or a older brother. Because again, you can't hold that in. If you hold that in, man, it's gonna cause massive destruction somewhere in your life.
What How many men do you feel like? I don't feel like it's very many men that will express that though. Just being honest, I don't. I mean, you go to therapy or whatever. Most guys are holding on to that masculinity or that I'm tough or I don't want to seem appear to be this way or this way. You
And that's
know,
why we struggle in certain areas because we
right?
hold on to it. That's exactly one of our struggles
Yeah,
because a lot of times we feel like the enemy is our enemy, and we feel like sometimes even our own brother is our enemy. So if you feeling like everybody your enemy, and then if you feel that way at home too, when I'm
Mhm.
at home, my partner, who I'm supposed to be soft with, is my enemy. It could be a lonely place, man.
You know, I think, which I know different now, but for a while I thought, I'm not gonna say I thought it was a competition, but it appears to be a competition within the relationship, because you like, we could disagree on something and it's kind of like a battle back and forth, instead of, okay, let's calm down, let's come to, a common ground, or make a good decision, or agree to disagree.
Right.
Yeah,
Good.
agree to disagree. What is your feeling? Now, this is, I talked to my dad about this, and he'll all day, every day be like 50-50, right?
Okay.
So, what is your opinion on within a relationship? Do you think a relationship is 50-50, or it should be?
Nah, I think, man, I think it's got to be 100-100. And the
What do you
reason
mean?
why I say that is each person have to give their 100.
Well, when I say, yeah, I believe in that.
I'll try to
Okay,
break that down a little bit. I
so
said,
what?
okay, so when I say 100-100,
Hmm.
what I'm saying is 100% of your best self. And
Yeah,
that
that
100 going to be different.
sure,
Yours might be providing the money. Hers might be taking care of the house, or vice versa.
sure,
Whatever it
sure.
is, you have to give 100% of yourself.
So, what if you guys are having a discussion and you guys can't come to an agreement?
Man,
And
that's a
that's
good one.
where I say 49-51, right?
Right.
And
Hey,
I,
Anthony Durrell on, not to cut you off, Anthony Durrell on. He's a
okay,
married man our age. I'm pretty sure he got a few comments. Let's see if we can
absolutely,
add him
absolutely.
in
Shout out to
here.
my boy Ant all day. Um, I think it's 49-51, and I say that because at the,
On who advantage? 49-51 on who
I'll say
advantage?
the man, right? I'll say the man, and the reason why I say that is you have to have compassion and say, okay, you know what? Let me be sensitive to my wife' feelings, right? But if we're on something that we can't agree on, I'm just like, you know what? It's We're just going to do this, or I'm just going to make the decision and we're going to do this, right?
Right.
And just rock with it. I say that from the perspective of everything a man does, he has to put his life on the line. You want me to walk on the side of the street? If somebody break in the house, you want me to get up and put my life on the line. But if we have a disagreement, I can't make this decision. You know what I mean? But I think you have to. It's a thin line. You have to go with that also, and say, you know what? I have to be sensitive to, or just say, you know what? I made the last. I'm gonna let you rock with this one. You
Okay.
know what I mean? But ultimately, I think a man should have the say so in certain situations if you can't agree, and say, okay, you know what? But with that being said, you have to be sensitive to the situation also. A lot of people aren't going to agree with that, and I understand that, but that's just how I feel about it. Sometimes my wife don't agree with it. So
That's definitely your perspective.
yeah,
That's what
yeah,
we hear.
yeah, it
I've
is.
learned through my experience
Sure,
of taking losses that it's okay to lose. I had to
it
learn
is.
that. I wanted to win everything from, growing up in the sport of boxing and,
Sure,
which is a very competitive sport. I wanted to win. So I felt like I had to win the argument, the disagreement, the debate, whatever it was, I wanted to win. But then I learned when I got older, like it's okay to lose. It's okay to sometimes shut up. It's definitely okay to be wrong and say, you know what,
yeah,
I was
yeah.
wrong. And,
I
you
think
know,
that's growth, though. I think
yeah,
that's
that's
growth.
growth.
Yeah, I think that's
That's
growth.
growth. You have to learn to think different, and
Sure.
challenge your way of thinking because again, if we had the same thought process from our earlier 20s or our adolescence, we're gonna be in trouble, man.
I was going to say I'm upset that you don't agree with me on everything, but no, I'm just.
No, I'm trying to as the single man out the two, I'm trying to get the ring, so I gotta disagree on something.
No, but man, So what is your thought process on that, being single and seeking a female? What are you looking for? What are you looking for? Or what are some qualities that you like and dislike within females?
Okay, so by social media, being what it is now, which is a platform that everybody used to,
Yeah.
one of the things I'm gonna do, bro, I'm gonna go on social media. I'm gonna look at the way a woman carry herself.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at, okay, is she taking more pictures of her booty? Then she's, putting her personality out there. It's
Hmm.
just certain things like that. And it's not to judge nobody, but it's gonna leak over to other stuff. So
Sure.
I'm gonna look at the way she carry herself on social media. If I'm meeting her in person, I'm gonna look at the way she carrying herself, because at the end of the day, you want a person to be more of an asset than a liability.
Yeah.
A liability gonna take you down, and I
Hmm.
I could do bad all by myself. An asset gonna add to you.
Right.
And nobody gonna never complete you. If you're looking for somebody to complete you, you're gonna be lost.
Right.
But somebody can definitely compliment you for you to go to that next level, mentally, spiritually, and physically. If you have those, then you can't lose. So, I try to look at the mindset. You know what I'm saying? Is
Hmm.
she gonna challenge me to make me better? All those things matter.
Right. I think which we've been knowing each other forever. Um, I think with my wife, definitely humbles me a lot.
Yeah,
Um, and she does in just different ways that she carry herself. So
right.
we can get into it, and like I said, I'll say, okay, let me think about the situation. I'll walk in there and she'll be reading the Bible or quoting it, you know what I'm saying? Not even saying anything to me, but just, you know, giving herself some knowledge or just digging into the word. And I think that's really important because I'm gonna say for me, it just shows me that she's trying to get better. When you can see that, and it's not I'm constantly nagging you, but
Right.
just say okay. And another way I look, I'm like, man, she in there praying on me. And you can't do nothing about it. You just like, man, you know, when somebody go to God on you, you just gotta be like,
Yeah, they tell God on you, it's a
right?
wrap,
You
bro.
like, wait a minute, let me straighten up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Let me get myself together. Let me get myself together. So
yeah, that's powerful, man.
yeah, definitely, man, definitely. Yeah, man. Like I said, I was really excited to start this podcast, come on and go on Instagram. Like I said, we're gonna have a couple other brothers come in. I just really want to throw a couple questions out there. And I with the first one, I don't even want to be long today. You know what I'm saying? I just want to
Right.
step out
Are
there
you
on
able,
Facebook.
on your side? Are you able to see the comments? It's some pretty good comments coming up. Are you able to see them?
A couple, yes, I am.
Okay. I was
You
just
want
wondering. Gotcha.
you want to dig into some?
Yeah, I like the what Andre Durrell said. Andre Durrell, he just basically said, absolutely not. You have to value the woman's perspective. And so,
You do.
he got a few, people to agree on that. And, I think that's important too. So I kind of was on that side uh,
As far
with
as what?
that because, man, and I'm not married, but I know from being around married people, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah,
But at the same
definitely,
time, managing your feelings too, like you said. So, I could
definitely.
play advocate of both sides, man. But
You know, I guess I just look at situations and I say, okay, so, say we go into a situation and um I go with the way you want to go, and I say, okay, I know we should have probably went this way, right?
right,
I'm more down on myself because I say, okay, I know better. And then if I fail in the situation, or if we fail in the situation, I feel like it falls on me anyway.
that's true.
You know what I mean? I feel like it's
I guess with that, Peter, it'll really just depend on what the debate is because
yeah.
as the head, there's certain things that you got to put on your shoulders and say, win, lose, or draw. I'm gonna take the accountability
And
for
that's where I'm going. Something very minor. I'm just like, okay, pick the food. I don't care.
it.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Or it's just, I mean, but when it's decisions, and you say, you know what, we're gonna have to live with this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna have to eat it. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I thank God for grace as far as her giving me the grace to be the man and make the decision and say, okay, you know what, we don't agree. And when I do make a decision, it's not too much of a debate from her on it. She's like, okay, that's what we're rocking with. You know what I mean?
Right.
But her just giving me her opinion and say, you know what, I want to go this way. And I'm like, I want to go this way.
Right.
And we just rock with it.
I do got a personal question for you.
Sure.
Okay, when you first got married, what area did you struggle with when it comes to communication, and where do you feel like you've grown the most with communication is the first part, and the second part is going to require transparency, but what do you feel like you still need to grow at with communication?
Um, I think it's more just letting go, bro. You have to let go, right? You have to let go of a lot of how we grew up and holding that. You can't hold it, man. You just have to say, okay, you know what? Let me talk to you about it and not hold back. I think a lot of times we hold back. I would say
Okay.
with me that was the biggest thing is just holding back and just saying, um, assuming situations. I
Right.
assume she knows this is how I am or this is how I want it. And she'll be like, yeah, you didn't communicate that to me. You know what I mean? And so now it's just saying, hey, I would like this, or this. And then just be open to, I think the biggest thing with that is because I communicate something doesn't mean that's what it has to be. And I think that's
Okay.
huge because she communicates something doesn't mean that's exactly because she told me doesn't mean I'm gonna agree with that. You know what I
Right.
mean? Or that's what it is. But I think you have to just sit down and talk about it and say, okay, I disagree with that and I want to go this way in that situation. Or she'd be like, I want to go this way. Then
Right.
you guys just have to say, okay, you know what? We finna just rock with your way today. You know what I'm saying? And but with that being said, right, wrong, or indifferent, you don't hold it against a person.
Gotcha.
And I think that's huge because we
So,
together. You know what I'm saying? So if if
yeah.
if we making this decision, we making this decision together. If we
Okay.
are gonna do this, we're gonna do it together. And I appreciate that because a lot of times, I'm gonna say a lot of times I've been wrong, and it's not thrown in my face. It's not. It's just supporting and just say, okay, you know what? We know
Mhm.
better next time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And just keep it moving.
That's good, man. I
Yeah,
like it.
and just keep it moving. Absolutely. So, so yeah, brother. Yeah. So this pretty interesting. Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Um, what are some questions that some of them may have? So some of the comments.
Uh, I don't see no questions right now.
Okay.
Okay, that
Okay.
guy. She said we have to teach one person how to love and communicate with each other. That's good. We have to teach.
We have to
I
what?
think, and even with that, what she's saying, we do have to teach each other. And I think with that being said, too, when you truly love a person, you have to be patient for them to catch on too. So not only that you have to teach, but you have to be patient because you can plant a seed, but you
Mhm.
can't tell that seed all the time when to grow. You plant that
Absolutely.
seed, you water it, you nurture it, and it's only
Mhm.
gonna grow, at the appointed time that we don't even know. I guess that's up to the person or up to God to, give them that knowledge.
And
But
I
yeah.
think I guess my interpretation of that when they say plant a seed, um, everybody likes different things, right? And so planting a seed would be, hey, this is what I like. Because anybody know me, you know me, bro, I have the hardest time um Christmas birthdays. I
Okay.
I hate it. And I say that because you can only give a person so much. So I say, we just gonna travel. I mean, that's a good safe gift, and so we just travel. But yeah, yeah,
That's powerful. Somebody else said take the L and move on. That's kind of that to me. That could be kind of hard because
yeah, you can't
what if
all the time
what if
though.
the thing that they're going against? What if it's against your core values?
Sure.
you
Sure.
can't move on, so you're gonna have to deal with it sooner or later. So I guess it'll be kind of whatever the situation is. But what if you seriously just can't take that L and move on? What do you do?
Right. Right. And you saying take a L. I don't I don't think within a relationship really you have to take a L, right? Because or if we taking it together. Like I said, I've made decisions that didn't fall through, or and we together, to become
Right.
one. So we taking an L together. You know what I mean?
Right.
so I just look at it like I said. This is a tricky subject, man. Communication, like
It
I
is.
said.
It could go so many different ways.
Yeah, it
It could
can.
go so many different ways, man.
It definitely can. It definitely can. I think we just have to continue to just talk to one another and then express ourselves. I'm gonna say for me, again, God, my wife, and so I'll a lot of times if I'm feeling something, and it may seem funny, but I'll say it within our prayer because we pray together every morning, right? So
Right.
I'll say it within our prayer. While we
Right.
praying, I'll say it. If something's really bothering me, God, can you help me in this area or help us in this area, right?
Right. Uh-huh.
And I do that, one, so we can get help, but two, she understands it's really bothering me. You know,
Right. Right. Right.
it's really
Do,
bothering me.
do you know how to add a third person to the call, or you want to?
I don't, but let's see if we can do it.
Hey, Andre Darrell trying to get in. Andre, send the see if you can request.
Yeah.
We know Purnell was born in the '50s, so he's still learning this tech. He learning this whole technology thing. This is his first
Yeah.
time. We're gonna give him a pass if he can't add you, but yeah.
Oh, right
Somebody
here.
else said they made a comment. They said some people
I think we just
they
accepted them, right?
I don't know.
I accepted both.
Okay. I don't know how to put them on. Okay, I think that was Miss Tiffany made a comment. She said earlier that most people don't listen. They only listen like to respond to your comment. So at that point, they're not taking in what you're saying, and that's very true. A lot of times, especially during an argument, nobody is reciprocating a person's
Did
feelings or
Tiffany just say my
thoughts.
wife be blowing me off? Uh, no, that is true. That is
Right,
true. And I think sometimes people just like, what, we're gonna do this for peace sake. You know what I'm saying? Just
right.
you know. I did just accept
Yeah, we'll definitely work it out for the next one, man. But yeah,
We
like you
go.
say,
there
There
we
we
there you
go.
go,
go.
There
baby.
we go.
What's happening?
My
What up
God, man.
though?
Hey, y'all got me itching over here, man, talking about the love
Man,
life.
hey, and the reason why, for me personally, I wanted to hear what he had to say because, like, when I talk about my age, I'm 38. It's not too many relationships I know that's been strong since high school, like you and
Sure.
your wife. So
Right.
I definitely want to know some of your pointers and thoughts on communication, and what would you like to talk about as far as communication?
Uh, what I really wanted to bounce this off of, like, just what I've been hearing, man. See, this is what it is in a relationship, in the marriage that's growing the right way.
Mhm.
As the years go by, if a marriage is growing the right way, meaning the woman is respecting my boundaries, my person, who I am, and then vice versa, right? Uh, uh, from that point, a marriage is going to grow, and you're kind of going to mold to each other organically. So, as the years go by, and the marriage is going the right way,
Mhm.
then it's going to get easier. Believe it or not. No,
Yeah,
we're
it is.
we're still going to argue. We're still going to argue. We're still going to fight. We bicker. Like, we still cuss each other out from time to time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's
You
all a
being
part
real,
of it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that people think that a good marriage is just always buddy buddy. You know
Man,
what I'm saying? Like,
the funny part you said, I just had a situation, and then my wife had got into it about a situation. I shared it with a family member, and they said, I didn't know y'all was having problems. And I was just
Wow.
like,
Wow.
it kind
Right.
of blew me out the water because I'm just saying, I'm just expressing something to you that's
Yeah.
bothering me,
Yeah.
and everybody's going to have problems or situations. You
Yep.
know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep. You get
And
lost. You get lost in the notion that they're so perfect for each
mhm,
other that they possibly can't be fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like when
right,
that's just untrue. Like even perfect is imperfect on this planet. You know what I'm saying? There's
Wow.
no such thing as perfect, but your significant other can be perfect for you. You know,
right,
like, and it's
right.
so cliche to say. It's too many cliches, and when you're talking about love, like, but why I say it gets easier is because the fact that I respect her, Brown, she respects mine. Meaning, in the arguments that we have, I never call her a bitch. I never disrespect her and call her a hoe, or something that's going to rile her up to get her pissed
He
off.
gonna kill
You
you,
know,
and Bump gonna kill you. So don't worry about
exactly,
it. and then,
exactly. You
and
know what I'm
then,
saying?
then
Like,
Red's catching the ticket. We coming to get you, bro.
Listen, his wife
but
good to me. I got to take him out, man.
man, I love how me and my wife's relationship is growing over time, bro. Like for
Right.
real, like the more we set in our ways, the easier it becomes. And
Mhm.
that's so real, man. You find the
Right.
right one, bro. There is no stress outside of inside of these doors.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the most important thing. Let all that stuff y'all talking about is like you just have to agree to disagree and whatnot, man, because you know her so well,
Mhm.
then you'll know what to say. You're like,
Right.
it's really unexplainable, but you're just like, you just kind of roll with the punches. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Being a fighter, I'm gonna
Yeah,
say it like that. You just kind of roll with the punches, and it's just
that's
like,
good.
okay, I won't even go there. So if I'm really pissed off at her, and if I know there is no right words to say, I'm gonna just shut the fuck up. I'm just shut up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
I'm gonna just leave it. I'm gonna leave it blank because I know that's the best thing to do. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And you just look at relationships that way. You know what I'm saying? Like when she's my person, bro. Like she
Right.
is literally my better half. You
Yep.
know what I'm
That's good.
saying? So yeah, the more years that go by, the more you'll kind of understand her and your
You like
significant other, in other
you
words. You
like
know
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
come
saying?
back tomorrow.
Yeah. Exactly.
We
But
gonna
you
try to.
can't. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I forgot what y'all had said. Um, about what if y'all can't agree on something.
Yes.
Like just leave it alone for now. Come back. When y'all around in a better mood, like the best thing to do is to just come back to it. You know what I'm
Come
saying?
to
Because
it.
or we'll sit there bickering all day.
Okay. I
You know
got a
what I'm
question.
saying?
But what if you have to make a decision, and you have to make a decision now, right?
Yeah,
And y'all don't agree.
yeah. Where's the decision based off? Is it based on the kids? Is it based on the
I, I don't.
it could be anything is what you're
Yeah,
saying?
it could be
See,
anything, and that's where I say I try to use compassion with that and say, okay, let me think about this situation because you're the head of the household or whatever. It doesn't mean that you have to bully your way or a situation. I think
No.
you have to be smart and then say, you know what, we're just going to go this way on this one. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
And that's all I was saying because sometimes you guys are going to come to a crossroads where you say, you know what, we can't agree. You know what
hmm,
I mean? We just don't agree on this, and they say, okay, you know what, or you just have to say, you know what, we're just gonna go your way. But
That's good.
either
I
way,
like
you're
what
making
somebody
that.
just said. They said it depends on who know more about the topic.
yeah. That's
That could
deep.
be true too.
That's it.
And at
That
that point in
that is
time,
true. Yeah, that's a good one.
you gotta be willing to say she know more than me. And when
Hmm.
it comes to a prideful guy, we not gonna want to say that early on. But once you get experience from taking losses, and
Both of y'all know,
you
Vanetta.
do
Y'all know she don't know more than me.
Yeah.
No,
nah, he ain't say that, did he?
I'm kidding.
And he trying to sleep on the couch today, Dre.
Uh,
That
I
man
am
trying to
kidding.
sleep on the couch.
Up the points.
Uh,
No
you
lie.
might be right, Rick. It was a joke, man.
Because so they say
Uh,
a woman can get under your skin, right? But if a household is ran the right way,
sure.
then the woman naturally let the man take the lead. Like when it comes to cooking, when it comes to cleaning, when it comes to
Mhm.
anything, if she need my help, I'm there. If she need my help, I'm there. But for the most part, she handles it all. Like so,
Right.
yeah, I'm not gonna tell her where I'm gonna put the grits. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right,
I'm
right,
not gonna tell her
It's
where I'm
kind
gonna
of it's
put
kind of just staying in your lane.
Yeah, I'm staying in my lane. So
Yeah.
that's just the most important part. Just really just staying in your lane. Like, and then because we're so dominant, bro, like we are the leaders of the household. Whether we want to or not, we probably had this conversation before, Ren, because we have some deep conversations, me and him. You know, we are leaders, bro. We're born leaders. If you're a man, I believe you're a leader. You know what I'm saying? And a woman leads too, but she stays in her place as she does so in the family. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Like my woman submit to certain situations, and I submit to certain situations. But because we can win almost every time, no matter how much they think
together, correct.
You just have to pass that torch sometimes. Like, you know what?
Absolutely. You gotta pass it.
It's gotta be easy for you. You're right.
But true leaders know when to delegate. If you don't know when to delegate responsibility, first of all, you're going to be doing too much. And you're going to be trying to operate out of the ramification of which you was blessed to operate in.
Yeah.
Now you're going to be trying to do stuff that you was never supposed to do. So, you know, you have to sometimes agree on to agree and know when is what.
Sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but can I say this? Because we be hearing stuff on these internets that be tripping us out, man. So, this is the whole thing that's going on in the internet right now.
What's that?
Should the woman feed the kids first, or should she feed the man first?
Okay.
Right? So that's the situation, right? Now, ego is going to control this situation in this day and age. It's simply ego to even sit here and argue about the situation, because the first thing is this: we all gonna eat.
Right.
This shouldn't even be a problem. Like, this is what I just want to put out there, but we all gonna eat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so if I don't say nothing, if I don't say, baby, you make my plate real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because this is how I'll say it. Baby, make my plate real quick because I'm about to go sit down and watch TV. She gonna make it. But if I don't, she gonna fix the kids' plate first, like naturally. You know what I'm saying? A woman, her instinct is to take care of her kids, but we see that. Like, you know, they're soft on them, and you know, but they, you know, kind of fold our demands if the woman is leading the right way. You feel what I'm saying? But that shouldn't even be up for discussion. Like, if I say make sure the food is on my plate first, make sure I eat first. I had a hard days of work. That's an ego trip, man. Because you waiting 2 minutes before, you know, after them to get your food. If I feed them first, that's an ego trip. They ain't even a situation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know, I guess I look at that situation too and say, it's you guys' job as husband and wife to provide for the family, right? And to be honest, you guys want to take care of your kids first. Just my opinion. So you know what? As a man, I would want them to eat first.
Right. I said that. That.
Because
absolutely.
I'm just like, you know what? I want to make sure my family is good, regardless if I worked or whatever, and then I can, you know what I mean? Because let's be honest, you're eating first before she is.
Right.
So, yeah, that's kind of crazy.
And that's powerful. I mean, since we're talking about communication, if she fixed their food first and you get an attitude, that means that you didn't understand her communication.
No, that means you're selfish.
Communication is first, both verbal and
that means
nonverbal.
you're selfish. Yeah.
So you selfish and you just received it the wrong way.
Right.
It wasn't given the wrong way, but you received it the wrong way. So, you know, in this life, as far as growing, we have to make sure that we constantly check the way that we receive information, because the way that it was put out there, we didn't receive it that way. So we just lost in the sauce. Now you thinking that she against you or she not putting you first, and that's never how it was supposed to be.
Yeah, that's I think that's kind of crazy. But you know, I think everybody have their battles though.
Right.
You know? I think everybody. Hey there.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Good. What you got to say about it?
Nigga, you know you always eat first. No, I'm just kidding. On some real stuff though. With that comment, my daughter always eat first. Always. But if you're sitting down as a family, you're sitting down at the table together, you eat family style. So we eat together, we pray together. Now, do I fix her plate first? Yes, I fix her plate first, but we eat together.
Okay.
But that's how it's always been.
Okay. Okay. But that's cool.
You don't think
I ain't
so?
gonna say, huh?
I said, you don't think so?
Um, yeah, because to be for me, it's not a big deal as long as I eat. And I think you have to take care of the kids first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just my opinion. I mean, if you have to fix their plate, you're fixing their plate and saying, okay, you know what? Let me make sure they're good. Then let me make sure he's good. So I don't think it's a big deal.
It's not, because
I don't. I mean,
a lot of times also the schedule don't allow everybody to, when people say that, well, who eat first, blah, blah, blah.
mhm,
Um, he works second shift, so he ain't eating till 11:30 at night no way. The
mhm.
baby been in the bed. So
Okay.
it, that topic is not a topic.
I mean, for some people it is though. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
and the reason why I say that is probably a topic because some men may feel like I think in those situations some men may feel like they're getting more attention than the kids are getting. So
You think that's a jealousy thing?
right. Um, I don't know. I don't know.
It depends. Yes,
Okay.
it's gonna depend on, and it's gonna go from man to man. Some
Yeah.
men gonna have that who was raised by their grandfathers or whatever. They might have uh, that old Southern mindset that the man get his plate first. So it'll probably vary from different men for different reasons.
Right.
Okay. That's true. But coming from somebody, I'm not gonna say you don't have kids because you got a bunch of them, but you don't have biological children.
I don't
If
think that
all
makes a I'm gonna say this. I don't think it makes a difference. You can't judge love, right?
no,
And I think a lot of people look at it and say, okay, well, I just think it's a common sense situation. I don't think because you birthed a kid that you're gonna love them any more or any less than anybody else.
no,
Just my and
that
that's
was
just my opinion.
that's not where I was going with that.
Okay.
I'm saying, um, that's why I said even though you don't have kids, you got a bunch of kids.
Hmm.
If I mean, hell, you raised my kids. If they were all there together, it ain't no way to even determine for real who get this first, who get that first, who, because you running around like a chicken with your head cut off trying to.
But what I think what Dre was saying was for some people it is a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a thing going around the internet, and it was saying that should the man eat first or the children, right? So if she's in the kitchen, should she bring the man his plate first or the kids their plate, right? And so I think each household is different and each situation is going to be different. And I just say in that situation, I don't care. I mean, it's
Because
never
you can spend too much time on something, so small
yeah,
to it take your attention away from what's more important. And
sure,
what's more important is that we win in the battle against the flesh, against the world, against the internet, and all these things that are attacking our kids.
right.
That's the most important thing, that we keep the house in the divine order. But who get their food first can take the attention off that, and now we're spending our time fighting over something that is so unimportant.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I think when you get to fighting about stuff like that, it's a bigger issue.
Yeah,
It,
absolutely.
it's a much bigger issue.
Absolutely.
You you icing the cake over what's really the problem.
Absolutely. I agree. Couldn't agree more. That's pretty
Well,
good.
well, guys, we're gonna wrap it up, man. I appreciate you guys. I just wanted to get on today. Like I said, we'll be on next week. Renz, I appreciate you, my brother. Eb, thank
Man, I
you.
appreciate you. I learned a few
Love you.
things today, man, and I think we should continue to evolve and grow mentally, physically, and
Absolutely.
spiritually with this communication thing, because we change and we constantly changing. So the way that we receive it gonna change. The way that we put it out gonna change. So we got to
And
continue to stay on
definitely,
top of
we
this
want
thing.
to give a shout out to our brother Andre. Thank you, man. We appreciate you,
Dre,
brother. For sure,
yes,
for
sir.
sure. And like I
Looking
said,
forward to doing it again, P.
huh?
I say looking forward to doing it again.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you guys. I appreciate you. And like I said, we'll see you guys next week.
Have a good one. Thank
All
y'all
right.
for all the
Thank you.
comments. Apologize we couldn't answer them all, but for the ones we did,
You
thank
know,
you.
I think, like I said, this was the first one, man. We're gonna try to do a little bit better with everything. You know,
Absolutely.
we're gonna come in, and I'm just glad we had an opportunity to get on it. Thank everybody. I really appreciate you guys for just tuning in and listening to us, and listen to us, just our opinion on situations. So thank you, and y'all have a good one.